Hi, I'm Dela Taylor. One of my favorite things in the world is to explore downtowns. My partner Dugan and I are infamous for just walking and talking to one another and then stopping mid-sentence so that we could comment on something as silly as like corbelling on buildings. We relish things like that. Old depots, anything will stop us in our tracks. Even patina, and maybe especially patina. Part of this love is definitely about the neat things. I mean, buildings and places, they're friggin' neat. The other part of it is how buildings and other design features, when they're arranged well, contribute to the human experience. They make us feel a certain way when we're in a certain place. We almost feel like we're there for a reason, as history is unfolding and we're a part of it. Luckily, I get to explore downtowns as work as well as play. As co-owners of Nussed, Dugan and I help people who love arts, history, and downtowns as much as we do create just exceptional experiences and inspirational communications. And it's in this role that Jen Olson, Executive Director of Waterville Maine Street, asked us to support her in redesigning a part of this very downtown for a day. Now, Jen is one of the big reasons that you're in the news. She and her collaborators and volunteers have worked for years to make Waterville downtown what it is today. A place that everybody wants to be. Now, if you visited Main Street on September 3rd, you saw the odd and wonderful mini festival that we built. Parks were created in the streets and people joyfully played and connected with one another. The event opened up what neighbors thought was possible for their shared space. It felt alive with whimsy. With the help of 104 Colby College students, Waterville Creates, and dozens of contributions from volunteers and businesses, we doubled the amount of pedestrian space at one intersection without impeding traffic flow or reducing parking. You can see some of the whimsy here. So why did we do it? We wanted to bring together the people of the community, including these new students, and help them see that they have a stake in the public space and can shape it to meet their desires. All they needed was their imaginations, the bravery to ask for resources, and the collective effort of a group. We also wanted to test ideas that might help the downtown be a more walkable, safe, and inviting space. By making temporary demonstrations of how things could be, and then asking for feedback, we gained investment from community members for possible long-term design changes that could transform Main Street for the better. The images you're seeing are of the intersection of Main and Temple Streets, and that's just about a block north of here. It looks very different than this, which is what the intersection normally looks like. You can see there are a mix of storefronts. Some of them are welcoming and some of them are shut, so they're not so welcoming. And there's an abundance of concrete here, just way too much concrete than we actually need. After a bit of vision, more than 2,700 square feet of temporary park space was created out of turning lanes and other road space. 2,700 square feet of parks. Cheap hay bales created a safe barrier from traffic, and then the parks were enlivened with greenery, with music, with games, with art making, cyclists, storytelling, and a simple gathering of neighbors. And all of this happened without backing up traffic. That's the number one argument people have. More parks? Traffic. A 48-foot long ladder truck from the Waterville Fire Department was able to make 3 out of 4 turns. And you can see Jen Olson here just doing that touchdown celebration. Woo! Because that street is now a street that can not only meet the needs of drivers, but also of pedestrians and cyclists. Everyone walking downtown that day said that they felt more safe and more welcome. And crosswalk distance was reduced from a frightening 54 feet, which is actually the norm, to that space between the hay bales, which is a more reasonable 20 feet. That's like walking across a 2-lane street rather than a 5-lane road. Most of the drivers respected the speed limit on this day as well. Feedback from neighbors who enjoyed the parks was excellent, with more than a handful telling us that they wanted this to happen on a monthly or even a weekly basis. They said they wanted downtown with more green space, more safety, more businesses that meet their needs, and opportunities that kind of feed the liveliness and whimsy that this day gifted to them. So what does this event mean for Waterville? It means that Waterville Main Street and community members can work together to shape the future physical and social fabric of downtown using their experience to guide them. A demonstration like ours quickly advances the discussion about potential neighborhood changes because people can see it, they can be in it, and get excited. Here's an example from Portland. They recently had a global event called Parking Day. This is to give you an example that the event here in Waterville isn't just limited to Waterville. It's actually part of a much larger global movement. What we did was called tactical urbanism. It's low-cost, temporary changes that can be experienced before they're made permanent. And often, people will try experiments like this when the city isn't acting or things are going too slow. This is an example from Boston, where a cyclist on Massachusetts Avenue saw it was just totally unsafe to cycle, and there was no bike lane and the city wasn't acting. So he built one, and now the city's reacting. These projects have a great impact on quality of life, and they don't take a lot of resources. When we created our mini festival here, we borrowed most of the supplies from local businesses, and we counted on volunteer help. When we let the community know, people stepped up to read stories to kids, to offer bike tune-ups, to lead a drum circle, to facilitate art projects, and to document the day through photographs. The Colby students who participated said they felt connected to Waterville and wanted to come back downtown to explore, to shop, and to see what else it has to offer. They said that they didn't know the people here were so open or so creative. And you could see the kids had a blast too. They wanted to come back, which is what we want. So in order to do something big, one has to start tiny. Small-scale interventions like ours are characterized by their community focus and by their realistic goals. The idea isn't simply to do a cool project that will be cleaned up by the city or thrown away, but it's to make something, even something temporary, that will change how a place works and is perceived in the short and the long run. Great public places give residents of a neighborhood a sense of belonging, pride, connection, and beauty, and they can be created easily. Cities are malleable, and you get to make yours whatever you want.